Welcome to Guatape, Colombia. Take a look around. It's insanely beautiful. The scenery is actually unreal. I was kayaking before this for like 2 hours straight, and I actually lost the dock that I left from. So I was trying to find it going through all these canals, and eventually I found it. But I got a second workout in today doing that, so that was cool. But I just wanted to turn the camera on, talk about my experience in Colombia so far, what it's looked like, a few insights that I have, and just how much it's opened my eyes to what life can be and how different it is from the States. Because it's funny, before I made the decision to come out here, I was I was so worried that I would miss all of these luxuries in the States, all these conveniences like having my car, being able to go to the store and get anything I want, speaking English, and having Amazon Prime, going to Chipotle every single week, like all these things that I cherished and that I thought were so important. But since I've been here for a month and a half now, I don't miss any of it. It's so crazy. And it's funny because I actually prefer having a simpler life. I prefer not having much. And the fact that I don't have AC in my apartment, the fact that I have to hang dry my clothes, the fact that I struggle in every single interaction speaking Spanish, all of those moments stand out for me, and I actually cherish them. And I prefer having that as opposed to having all the luxuries in the US in which everything is handed to you. Because when your life is set up in that way, it just removes the opportunity for growth and to experience something new. Because after we've gone through the school system and get into regular life, it's a little bit tricky to find avenues and ways to continue to expand your mind, to grow, and to experience life in a different way. But when you come to a new environment like this, there's no other option but to grow and but to experience new things. And when you're in a place like this, surrounded by all this scenery and just naturally beautiful, and whether I'm in the midst of the city over in Medellin or I'm in a place like this where there's just natural scenery, I'm just reminded about how much abundance there is in life and how expansive the world is and how beautiful it is. But I used to be in Orlando, Florida. I was there for 2.5 years before I made the move here. Over there, you could only see shopping centers, streets, and it was very rare to get a view of anything beyond that. And I believe that if you live in an environment that is just naturally enclosed, in which you don't get a sense of scale, a sense of what's actually out there, it makes it so much easier to be closed-minded, to be closed off, and to be just enclosed within yourself. Because it inhibits your ability to see what's actually out there. And you forget what life actually is. Like, we're just humans existing on a planet, and life just naturally exists. It's just reacting to its environment and to its stimuli. Whereas when we're so confined in a society that is ruled by money and the government, and there's societal structure and all of these things at play, it's so easy to forget what life actually is. And the fact that it's actually pretty simple. Like, we're just here to survive, to eat food, to reproduce. And being humans, being sentient, we have the ability to create memories. We have the ability to be introspective, to be analytical, to create things, to be innovative. Yet when you're just enclosed in a 9-to-5 job, especially in a place that doesn't have this kind of scenery, it's so easy to just be locked in that bubble and just enter a cycle in which you work, you might go to the gym or something, and on your downtime you're just on your phone scrolling, or you're just watching other people live their lives instead of taking the initiative within your own life to do what you actually want to do. So since I've been in Colombia, it was a long time coming, for one, to get here. But the fact that I lived in an environment like that in Orlando just pushed me that much more to actually make the change. So even though I didn't align with Orlando whatsoever, I was working a full-time job in which I was only working about 20 hours a week while getting full-time pay. So because of that, I was able to start personal training on the side, which was the catalyst for me launching my online coaching business. And now I'm doing that full-time while in Colombia. And the fact that I was in such an enclosed environment within Orlando made me realize how much I did not want to live my life like that, because it's just, not the way that I know life should be. And along that topic, just seeing the way that the locals live in Colombia, how connected they are to their surroundings, to other people. And it's rare to see people on their phones just walking around. It's like you'll see younger people doing it more, but the older generation especially, they'll just be sitting in a plastic chair outside a corner store, having a few beers, playing cards, just out there chilling, and they'll just be sharing laughs, having the time of their life. And it's just normal, it's natural for people to just get together. In my barrio, there's a church that's about a block and a half down from where I live, and every Sunday the church doors are just open. They're open, there's people outside, there's people inside, and there's a lot of street vendors out, and there's just people always out. The way most neighborhoods are set up is there's a lot of apartment buildings, and there's a lot of shops, stores, restaurants that are on the first level. And they all have like the rolling doors, if you know what I'm talking about, that are like super big, and they kind of cover like the entire length of the place, or like a really big section, so that there is open space from the inside to the outside. And then most places, no matter what it is, they have tables, couches outside, plastic chairs. So the environment is inviting people in. It's inviting. It's just like inclusive. Whereas in the States, every single establishment for the most part is just like a single door, and it's always shut. The blinds might be down, and not everything is as connected. Everything is spaced out because there's a road, it's very car dependent, everything is just separated. For me in Orlando, I would barely see people walking around. It would just be people in cars going from point A to point B. You go into a shopping center, all the shopping centers are like the exact same stores for the most part, and everyone just looks like zombies. Like, I'm not saying like everyone in the US is like that, but most people, at least where I was, just don't have any personality. There's no vibe. Most of the people that I met in Colombia have an enriching personality. They're inquisitive about me and what I do. And they all just have this like underlying vibe and like swagger about them that you don't really find in the States. And it's crazy. And that just makes me connect with people more here. Because something else that's pretty wild is that even though I don't speak Spanish fluidly at all, and I'm still a beginner, I've made deeper connections with people here within the month and a half that I've been here versus 2.5 years in Orlando. That's just crazy. And that goes to show that I just align with the people here, the way of life. But you just can't confine yourself to any way of living, because you just never know. Like, if I didn't take the leap and come out here, I would never know that I would be able to connect with people on that level, that I would be able to enjoy hang drying my clothes and doing all of these things. Once you put yourself outside of your bubble and your comfort zone, you start to learn more about the world, obviously, but about yourself and what you actually value and how you enjoy living. Because I would have never known those things if I never took that leap. Whatever your goals are in life, whatever you want to do, you know, if you feel an internal conviction to go in a certain direction, you just have to do it. You know, because I felt that internal conviction to come here, and lo and behold, I connect with it and I align with it. I resonate with the life that I live here. Because if you're watching this, I'm assuming that you might want to come to Colombia or travel elsewhere or do something radical within your life. Because most people see what I did as radical, leaving my 2 jobs behind, my life in the States, and going into the unknown where I'm not sure how long I'm going to be here for, what it's going to lead to. But that makes life more exciting, and it makes it more stimulating, because I need to just be locked in, I need to be focused, and it puts me in a position where I'm in a heightened state and I'm trying to just get everything I can out of it, squeeze everything I can out of this experience so that I can move forward in the right direction. But when you put yourself in that kind of position, it forces you to grow, like I said earlier, but it also forces you to just enter a state of mind in which you are just more locked in, you're more aware, you're more alert, and you're more present as a result. You just feel more connected to what's going on around you because everything is new, everything is novel. But when you're going through life the exact same way, and if you're just going through the motions at work, within your social life too, or within any hobbies that you have, if it's just spinning the wheels, then like, what's the point of life? It's not like we're on this planet to just experience sameness all the time and then end up passing on. There's just so much else to experience in life, and you don't realize it, you don't really see it until you have a new experience that you end up going into. Because it's easy when you're on social media watching people online, like you're viewing it from a third person point of view and other people are doing stuff like what I'm doing. But until you actually do it, that's when it's going to shift the way that you see things, the way that you experience things. And you just have to be able to see beyond the limitations that you have for yourself within your own mind and what other people place on you as well. But just being in Colombia, just the culture, the way of life here, it just feels right to me. It feels like I'm in pre-social media times in most cases, because people are actually present, they're spending time with each other. But if you're someone like me that appreciates authenticity and having a more simple life, because the people here, they don't need much to be happy. Like I said earlier, they can just be in a plastic chair chilling with their friends and everything is good. But in general, that's just the way it is here. People aren't as consumeristic, they're not as materialistic. You don't see many fancy cars anywhere, and I actually like that, because I believe chasing luxury in that way makes people more superficial and takes you away from what life really is. Like, we're just animals on this planet, like I said earlier, but it's like you just got to keep things simple, because when you are chasing all of these extraneous things, all these possessions, then it takes you away from just being able to be happy with the scenery that I have right now, because you end up being in a state in which you feel like you're always lacking something. And in order to fix that, the solution that you gravitate to is trying to buy something new, trying to get something new, trying to get someone in your life. But you really don't need much. And that's what it showed me. That's like the overall message here. You don't need much to be happy. As long as you have a skill set to where you can provide value to people or have a remote job, there's so many opportunities to create a life of actual freedom and of abundance if you just believe that you can do it. And if you choose something, you try to become really good at something and serve others in a beneficial way, you have the ability to live life on your own terms. You don't have to be confined in a bubble. So whatever that means for you guys, I mean, I want my content to inspire people in any way, shape, or form. It's not like you have to come out and do what I'm doing, but just take what I'm saying and try to use it as fuel to live life on your own terms, not feel like you need to confine yourself to one thing or to one place or to one ideology. We live in a world that's naturally abundant, and there's an entire world to explore. So with that information, do what you will, but it's just important to know who you are, know what you want out of life, and go after what you truly want.